So today, I want to talk about job hunting in cybersecurity. I see so many people doing this wrong and they wonder why they can't get a call back, why they're getting ghosted, why they've been applying for months and nothing is happening. You've probably seen all those posts on LinkedIn saying, I have a Security Plus or a CompTIA Network Plus and I've applied to 200 jobs and I still can't get hired. And then everyone in the comments is saying like, just keep going, but nobody's actually telling them what they're doing wrong. So that's what this video will be about. I want to give you guys some instructional steps that you can take to improve your chances. And these are advices coming from someone who has been on both sides of the fence. Before we jump right in, a lot of you guys aren't subscribed to my channel, so if you want more of this cybersecurity content, help a brother out and click on that subscribe button. Alright, let's get into it. So the first mistake is just applying to everything you see, spraying and praying. I kind of get it, you're feeling really ready, so you start firing off applications, SOC analysts, penetration testers, cloud security engineers, incident responders, whatever's posted on LinkedIn, you just click apply. But here's the thing, a lot of those roles have requirements you don't meet yet. And when you apply to a senior role with zero experience, your application gets filtered out before it even reaches a human. Most companies use ATS, which is Applicant Tracking Systems, and if your experience doesn't match the job description closely enough, you're done before you even started. Think about it this way, someone with 6 months of study and a Security Plus applying for a senior pen testing role that requires 5 years of experience, the ATS filters them out instantly. They never even knew they had no chance. So what I would recommend is going through the job description line by line before you apply. If you don't meet at least 70% of the requirements, move on and find something that actually fits where you are at right now. Anything from entry-level SOC analyst, junior IT security, or help desk, what you want to do is build from there. Applying to 200 jobs that doesn't really fit you is way less effective than applying to like 30 that actually match your level. Alright, mistake number 2 is not having a home lab. And this one kind of surprises me because the resources are free out there. You can set up a solid home lab for free or close to being free using VirtualBox, TryHackMe, or HackTheBox. That's not really an excuse for not having something. Employers in cybersecurity doesn't want someone who just read about security. They want someone who's actually done things. Certifications tell them that you know the theory. A home lab tells them you actually care enough to practice. So picture 2 candidates applying for the same SOC analyst role. Both of them have Security Plus, but one of them has a home lab where they tried out Splunk and they run through attack scenarios. The other one has only done practice exams. You don't need me to tell you who's gonna stand out. All you have to do is start small, spin up 2 virtual machines on VirtualBox, one as an attacker, one as a target, work through beginner rooms on TryHackMe, document what you're doing as you go because that documentation becomes something you actually talk about in interviews. Even a basic lab puts you ahead of a lot of applicants. Now let's talk about certifications because this one I see a lot. People who are brand new to the field, maybe 6 months in, and they're already talking about going for CISSP or CEH. And I understand the thinking because those certs, they sound impressive, but it's kind of like the wrong move. CISSP requires at least 5 years of professional experience to even get certified. That's literally in the requirements. And CEH is expensive and it's not what employers look for in an entry level. I've seen rookies spend 6 months on over $1,000 preparing for CEH and they pass it, and they still struggle to get interviews because hiring managers care more about hands-on experience than the certificate at entry level. That time and money would have been better spent elsewhere. So what I would say is start with Security Plus, that's your baseline and most entry-level job postings recognize it. From there, you can pick your direction. If you want pen testing, look at PNPT. If you're going for the regular SOC route, look at CISA Plus. Stack your certifications with your experience level and build up gradually. Don't jump ahead because something sounds impressive on paper. Hiring managers can see through that. Now before we move on, we have to talk about a platform that a lot of people use to learn about cybersecurity, and that is Coursera, who is the sponsor of this video. So if anything I've covered so far has you thinking, okay, I actually want to learn this properly, Coursera is honestly one of the best places to do that right now. And specifically, the Google Cybersecurity Professional Certificate is something something I would point you guys to. And here's the thing, it's fully self-paced and it's designed for people with no prior experience, and Google literally built this from the ground up to get people job ready. We're talking about roles that start in the 80k to 120k range. You go through things like network security, incident response, threat detection, Linux, Python, SIEM tools, all the real practical stuff that actually shows up in your job description. And because it's on Coursera, you can fit it around your lifestyle, your job, whatever you have going on. Most people finish in under 6 months, and when you do, you walk away with a certificate backed by Google, which is not nothing when it comes to getting your resume noticed. It's one of the most direct pathways from zero to job ready out there. There's a special link in the description right now where you can get yourself 40% off for 3 months on Coursera. If you have been thinking about making a move into cybersecurity at all, I would definitely check this one out. Alright, let's talk about resumes, because most rookie resumes look the same. A big list of buzzwords like familiar with firewalls, knowledge about TCP or IP addresses, experience with cybersecurity tools. It doesn't really tell anything. Hiring managers are going through a stack of resumes, and if yours doesn't stand out in the first couple of seconds, it's gone. Here's the difference. One resume says experience with SIEM tools, another one says deployed Splunk in a home lab environment to detect and investigate simulated brute force attacks. One of those tells a story, the other one tells nothing. And the hiring manager knows exactly which one came from someone who's actually done the work. So my advice for this is to go through every point on your resume and ask yourself, does this actually show what I did and why it matters? Replace vague statements with specific ones. And you want to add more context, you want to add more tools and add more outcomes. If you have specific numbers or statistics, use them and try to keep it to 1 page if you're entry level. Nobody really needs a 3-page resume from someone with 2 years of experience in total. If you're not sure if your resume is up to scratch, post it in a cybersecurity community and ask for an honest feedback. It's way better to hear it from someone else before you apply to an employer. Alright, this one doesn't get talked about enough, and that's soft skills. A lot of rookies think cybersecurity is purely technical, so they grind certifications, they build their lab, they do capture the flags, and that's great. But then they get into an interview and they can't really explain what they know in plain English, or they struggle to communicate with someone who isn't technical, or maybe they just come across as difficult to work with. That's a problem, especially in roles like SOC analyst where you're writing incident reports, briefing managers and working as part of a team. Imagine an interviewer asks a candidate to explain what a phishing attack is as if they're talking to a non-technical manager, and then the person goes straight into technical jargon like SPF records, email headers, and SMTP. The interviewer is gonna immediately switch off. They need someone who can brief leadership and not just talk to other engineers. I've seen some technical, solid people get passed over for exactly that reason, and I've seen people with less technical knowledge get the job because they could explain things clearly and confidently. So practice explaining what you know in simple terms. You can grab a concept like phishing, ransomware, or MFA and explain it out loud like you're talking to someone with no tech background. Record yourself if you have to. Get comfortable with that kind of communication before you walk into an interview. Now, this one happens a lot in interviews and it's kind of painful to see. You can have someone listing out all the projects on their resume like a home lab, a CTF write-up, a script they built, and then in the interview, the hiring manager asks them what they did and they fumble. They can't really explain what they did, why they did it, what they learned from it, and that's a big red flag. I've seen someone say something like, I've built a network monitoring tool in Python on their resume, and then when the interviewer asked them to walk through it, they said they just followed a tutorial online. That one sentence undid everything the project was supposed to show. If it's on your resume, you need to own it. Before any interview, sit down, prep a short explanation for every project. Cover what you did, why you did it, what tools you used, and what you learned, and what you would do differently next time. If you can't really explain it clearly in 2 minutes, either practice it until you can or take it off your resume. Interviewers are testing whether you actually did the thing and whether you can critically think about your own work. Make sure you can answer both. Alright, this next one is giving up too fast. Someone that applies for a few weeks, gets some rejection, and then gets ghosted a few times and start thinking maybe this isn't for me. But that's just not how breaking into cybersecurity works. This field is competitive. It can take up to months to land that first role. I've seen people apply to like 20 20 jobs in a couple of weeks and they hear nothing back and they decide the market is impossible and it's too saturated. Meanwhile, I've seen someone else apply to 20 jobs over a couple of months, and every time they adjust their resume, they do mock interviews, and then they actually land a job. So everything in the same field, same job market, completely different approach and completely different outcome. So you need to change your mindset. Every rejection is information. If you didn't hear back anything at all, your resume might need some work. If you had an interview but you didn't get a job offer, maybe you need to practice your answers more. If you receive feedback, actually use it. You gotta set yourself a realistic timeline, at least 3 to 6 months of consistent, intentional effort before you reassess. You can keep a simple tracker of where you've applied and what happened. The people who break into this field are not always the most talented. They're the ones who stay consistent and didn't stop when it gets hard. Alright, this one is simple, but so many people skip it. Showing up to an interview with no idea what the company does, what industry they're in, what kind of security challenges they might be dealing with. And the interviewers can immediately tell, because the moment they ask you, why do you want to work here, you're stuck. And that first impression is hard to recover from. Someone interviewing for a security analyst role at a fintech company gets asked what they know about the company, and they say something like, you guys do like software or something, right? The interview is basically over at that point. Meanwhile, another person in the same round mentioned a recent data breach in the fintech sector and asked about how the company approaches that kind of risk. That person gets the next round. Before any interview, spend at least 30 minutes on research. Go through their website, LinkedIn, any recent news, understand what they do, what industry they're in, and why security matters in their specific context. Then use that in the interview. Reference something specific, ask a smart question. It shows the interviewer you're genuinely interested, and that matters more than most people realize. Okay, so those are the mistakes I see rookies make when trying to break into cybersecurity. None of these are meant to discourage you, I just want you guys to actually get there. And the good news is every single one of these mistakes is fixable. You just need to know what to work on. By the way, we now have memberships on the channel. If you want guaranteed replies to your questions, members get priority response. So feel free to check it out. Thanks for watching.